Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to the finale of Season 3 of the F124 Driver Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here in Abu Dhabi for the final Grand Prix of the campaign. Of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live yesterday from Qatar, I would highly recommend going back and checking out one of the most dramatic races we have had in this series so far. 5 cars battling it out for the win come the end of that race. It certainly was one to remember there. You can see we're currently up to, I think we're almost 93 rated now inside this game. You can see we've got 90 stats pretty much everywhere, with the exception of our experience, which we just need to do more races, and our awareness as well there. So need to ideally stop crashing into other cars as much as we have been. But yeah, in terms of the championship, of course, as we head to the finale, we got nothing. We can't gain a place. We can't lose a place. We're absolutely safe. The team, we still want to try and hit 900 points by the end of the season, which would be quite an impressive feat when all is said and done. But yeah, ultimately, we can just go out there and enjoy ourselves in this final weekend of the campaign. Over the course of the season, we have taken 3, 4, 6, 7 wins in the campaign there. Charles Leclerc, on the other hand, has taken 4, 6, 8, 9 wins. Bearing in mind, we probably lost out on 3, so I think we can be pretty impressed with how we've driven this season. Also, since Monza, we haven't finished off of the podium either, so I'd like to keep that streak going as well into the end of the season. So, yeah, we've done pretty well this campaign. We've had a lot of ups, we've had a lot of downs, but, yeah, still undecided just yet as to whether we are going to be sticking with Ferrari as well, ready for next year. We're going to put a couple of fresh components into the back of the car as well. We've got a few little bits and pieces that aren't that worn out as well, ready for this final race. So, yeah, we're just going to go out there and enjoy ourselves. The pressure is off. I'm not going to do a last question mark challenge or anything like that, just because, like we said, you know, we still want to try and get one final win of the year as well there. But that being said, I think if we get a mechanical failure here, I won't sign with Ferrari for next year. So that's kind of the only proviso, hoping the car sees the checkered flag. Let's finish the year with a bang. Not a literal one, though.
Welcome to the 4th race in the Middle East and the final one of the season. It's Abu Dhabi, and it's time for the final practice session.
Well, I've got to admit, yeah, Abu Dhabi is a little bit of a weird one for us, ultimately. It's been a track where we've often had good pace, but often have struggled as well. So I've really got no idea as to how we're going to fare this weekend. I guess, obviously, you know, with the iterations and alterations that were made to this circuit, we should be pretty competitive. I mean, this car still has got a little bit of an advantage over everybody else, but, you know, Aston Martin, McLaren, they've all closed in right towards the end of the year as well, and if Haas could have a strong result as well, that could potentially swing my opinion, and maybe we could go to the American outfit ready for next year as well. Like I said, I am genuinely still undecided. You guys seem pretty, you know, undecided on it as well. A lot of you are saying, you know, stay with Ferrari, win that world title. A lot of you are saying go back to Haas. They've set you up perfectly inside the game. It's not too sure why Lando Norris insists on checking me there. But yeah, we've got this final race to try and clear our mind, and hopefully all will come clear. We've got to make sure that we get as much R&D as we possibly can to finish off the year strong. Just clutch up a purple score there, although I have no idea how. So we're right on the cusp then here on our ERS practice program. These ones, yeah, the practice programs, the further in the game you go, just become notoriously difficult. At the final corner, we're going to get the green score. It's not perfect, but it's good enough.
Welcome to qualifying. It is time to have some laps at the limit in Abu Dhabi.
Well, I'm a complete idiot again. Just like I forgot in Portugal, I forgot to switch back to normal qualifying here, so admittedly it's not going to be laps at the limit. Everyone is going to just get one shot here in Abu Dhabi. I'll be honest, I don't actually mind doing these one-shot qualifying runs. They do provide a little bit of intrigue, but yeah, the AI usually are a little bit stronger, because of course I don't have as much time to try and get up to speed as well in qualifying trim there. But we'll wait and see how this goes. I guess, you know, I'll try and remember. I'll try and be better at it. Obviously, I've been having to record these videos quite far in advance, obviously preparing for the iRacing Le Mans 24 this weekend. Hopefully, by the time this video has gone live, I would have survived that race, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just trying to get this lap hooked up though. You know, final real lap in true anger of the season. Everybody obviously wants to claim pole position, but it could well still be Ferrari that do it one more time there. As chuck the car in to the hairpin. We gained a little bit on Leclerc on the entry. Might lose a little bit on the exit though there, as it's still nose to tail between ourselves and our teammate. Oh, just fire it in a little bit too deep as we try and get the car under the hotel. This might leave us a bit of work to do in the Grand Prix there, as Lando Norris now goes to the top of the board. Could we see another new pole sitter ready for the final race of the year? Out of the final corner, is Lando Norris going to do it? I think he is. Norris is on pole. We only go P7. Well, I tell a lie. It was actually P6 at the end of qualifying. Admittedly, we did set exactly the same time as Oscar Piastri there, so no idea how they decided who claims that one. But Lando Norris and McLaren, first pole position of the year, if I'm not mistaken there. 5 cars from 5 different teams making up your top 5, all covered by just 0.2 of a second. It really does feel like this year that everyone has kind of closed back in on Ferrari pretty evenly. It's helped us gain huge points overall, but it does potentially give us a lot of spice as we head into next year. Let's get into the race though, we'll see what we can do.
It's time then for one final race in this year's Formula One World Championship. 2010 saw 4 drivers in contention for the title coming into this race, with Sebastian Vettel prevailing to become the youngest world champion to date. Is the one last sting in the tail awaiting us today? It's time to find out in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit is made up of 3.4 miles of track, featuring 21 corners with 2 very long straights. DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both turn 8 and turn 11 offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners as well, in particular turns 15, 16 and 17, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Fernando Alonso, Firestarter, Hamilton, Gasly, Albon, Perez, Hulkenberg, Verstappen, Behrman, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Stroll, Ricciardo, Joe, Sainz and Frederic Vesti. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Shakes. Alongside me, a real authority on all things motor racing. It's a warm welcome back to Anthony Davidson. Well, it's the last race of the season, but there's still plenty to prove out there. How important is getting the right mentality for this season closer?
Yeah, a lot of races to cover, but it's the same for the drivers. It comes at you thick and fast, and you've got to pace yourself as well to get to this point in the season. If it has gone your way, it's a great time to just enjoy it. There's nothing that can change in the championship pecking order, of course. If you've won the championship already, go out and enjoy this race and send yourself off through the winter break. If it's been a bit of a year to forget, you can try and take a bit of solace in this Grand Prix, end on a high and carry that energy into next season.
Okay, mate, final day of the season. Everybody in this entire team has worked incredibly hard to give us the chance to get a good result today. I need you to do your bit and go out there and bring it home for us.
Wise words there coming from Mark. We've had a very topsy-turvy year with Ferrari, but hopefully we can put that behind us and go out with a big result. For the final race of the year, we've got about 8 cars with grid penalties. It's one of the most I've ever seen. Verstappen and Oscar Piastri further back has meant, yeah, that we are up to P5 on the grid as well there. Lando Norris, though, still on the pole. Could he claim a win to finish off the year? It is 5 red lights. And a long hole, but it is lights out, and away we go there. Leclerc's immediately got a good start, so is Fernando Alonso, as I think that's Hamilton behind me, who's going to try and make it a Mercedes 3 wide. With both Mercs there, we've got a little bit sandwiched. Somehow we'll get away with that, as I get a warning for a collision. Not really sure I could have done a lot else in that scenario, because Hamilton had dive bombed me. Russell was trying to squeeze down on us as well, and we kind of just ended up stuck in the middle there. There's already Leclerc trying to do what he does best and just break away at the start of a Grand Prix there. Norris, he's very accurate to real life there, losing places off the start. Fernando Alonso, the wily old fox, gaining some ground as well. So as we make our way up the back straight for the first time, Yeah, Leclerc already with a good 1.5 second lead over everybody else. Norris rattles over the curbs there. Alonso will do the same through the second part of the corner. And we are just waiting in the wing, trying to get a run on the pair of them, which I think we will. So Ferrari, we go from 2nd and 5th on the grid. We're 3 wide as we make our way down the back straight. But yeah, from 2nd and 5th on the grid to 1 and 2 on lap 1. That's probably been one of my most successful starts on this game. But can I keep up with Leclerc? It looks like Lando Norris then, he's either got damage or they've just not set that car up for race trim. He is really, really struggling at the start of this GP, all the way down to P5 by the end of lap 2. Leclerc, though, the gap's staying fairly level between ourselves and our teammate. And often I find in Abu Dhabi I'm stronger on the hards than I am the mediums. It's going to be one of those Grand Prix where we've got to wait and see how things go. But I would love to finally get 3 wins in a row at the end of the year. There's been so many incidents of drivers winning 2 races back-to-back. But yeah, Leclerc's managed it once. No one else has this year. That's how unpredictable it's been. Well, we've seen this style of racing before. I believe it was at the end of Season 1 on this game. Max Verstappen, he basically didn't win a race in the second half of the year. Lost all of his championship lead. Hung on for the world title, and then came to Abu Dhabi and absolutely dominated. So I think Leclerc, admittedly, hasn't collapsed like we saw Verstappen do in years gone by. But yeah, I think he's basically come here to Abu Dhabi and has decided he absolutely wants to dominate. I'm still just so interested in what Aston Martin and Alonso are going to be able to do, because they've become huge threats towards the end of the year. I feel like we've, seen Alonso and battled with him pretty much every race of the last 4 or 5. Gasly up to P5 as well behind us, so Norris is just going backwards. Well, I didn't really defend from Alonso because I wanted to see if he's got the pace to keep up with Charles Leclerc here, but I don't think that's the case early on this afternoon. Like I said, for me, it's far more about the second half.
Can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Oh, great stuff. You hit that target. Really good job.
I love those occasional ones on this game still, where you complete the challenge before Mark's even finished explaining what the challenge is. Always quite funny. But yeah, we want to try and keep that gap to Leclerc, obviously, well, as small as possible, but I think if we can keep it around 3 seconds, that'll be good.
Okay, so that's a red flag.
Oh, we got a red flag.
Overtaking, and let's get back into the pits, please.
Well, no idea what's happened.
Officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now, just be careful.
Well, let's see if I can go grab a replay then of what's happened there, because I couldn't see anything on the minimap. Unfortunately, my camera, I need to move it because it's still in the way. But yeah, I'm going to have a look, obviously, in the post-race replay, so you guys will know what's happened. I won't. Well, here we go then, riding on board with Pierre Gasly. It's not going to be the biggest incident in the world. He's just going to tip it in, go for a bit of a spin. The Williams gets round him. Everybody gets round him. So one car spinning out. Oh, there we go, Ocon. Of course it's Ocon that can't find a way through. One car spinning out brings out the red flag in a rather undramatic fashion. Oh, well, team reckon hard compound tyres to the end of the afternoon is going to be the way to go. I'm not so sure. I think those tyres are going to be very, very worn out by the end of the race. But I guess we've got to try it and just kind of wait and see what happens. This does present an opportunity against Leclerc. 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go there. And that time around, we haven't done a very good line. As you can see, Alonso will say thank you very much down towards turn 1. And I've immediately gone and driven into the side of the Aston Martin there. Tiny bit of front wing damage. So the second time in a row, turn 1, we've been caught out and made contact with another driver. That time around was definitely my fault.
Your MFD if you need to.
But we need to attack Charles early on off this restart. I can only assume the Haas of Gasly got involved in that incident. Because, yeah, he has dropped down the order quite badly. Like I said, you guys will have seen it. I've got no idea at the time of recording. A little bit weird. But, yeah, Leclerc just trying to inch away off this restart again. But we cannot let it happen. Now DRS is enabled then. Let's see what kind of run we can get on our teammate down the back straight. Luckily, this time around, we've stayed in the DRS zone. But, yeah, the straights here aren't that long in Abu Dhabi. I wonder if at some point we could see both of them kind of combined into one. I guess the braking zone in the middle of the first part is quite good for overtaking, but yeah, imagine if you had a long run all the way around kind of the back of the circuit there. That'd be quite impressive, but Yeah, I think this time around, though, Leclerc obviously not able to get away in the way he would have wanted. Still got 20 laps to go here. Tyre wear looking pretty good, actually, on this set of tyres, though. So, yeah, we might be able to get him to the end.
Okay, mate, that's Charles ahead of you now. Right, let's go. Let's try and get past them and put them on the back foot. Push, push.
Well, Ferrari, you give me the A-OK, then we can attack our teammate here as we try and get a good run out onto the back straight. Maybe now we can look for a move and also get Alonso out of the DRS range at the same time there. Leclerc's aware of it. He's going to try and go defensive on me. Late on the brakes, there are a little bit of rear locking as Leclerc will keep the place for now. Can we get a good run out into the second of the back straights, though? 4/10 the gap, and immediately it's coming down again there. We've got very little in the way of battery, though. So as we try to have a look to the outside of our teammate, who's going to really squeeze us.
Nice work.
Got in front temporarily, but we don't hang on to it. Leclerc, yep, I think the gloves are off tonight. I think, to be honest, Leclerc's been willing to drive very aggressively with me in recent races. I'm going to return the favour. The gloves are off. Well, there's the very famous clip, isn't there, of Leclerc versus Alex Albon in Formula 2 here in Abu Dhabi. It's just the wildest battle you will ever see. Have a look on YouTube after this video. It is one that you do not want to miss. The driving standards, yeah, leave a little bit to be desired, but it is great fun. But yeah, at the moment, I'm wondering if we're going to see that Leclerc back tonight as well. As once again, we've saved up a little bit more battery this time, so surely now we're going to be able to get the run on our teammate. Not there, though, apparently, as we'll try and have a look to the outside then. Just really wanted to cover that off a little bit later than I would have wanted him to. So we'll try and really pinch him to that apex there, run a little bit wide over the curbing on the exit. We've kept the move, though. Not the best one, but we are in front. Not for very long, though, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure we are about to see our teammate fly straight back past us. Look like the top four here have got a nice little breakaway from everybody else. Alex Albon potentially holding up a bit of a train there. Let's look at that Alonso. Just like we saw him attempt in Abu Dhabi, he might be able to try and get the pair of us down into that chicane there. Who's going to come out on top?
Get those places back.
Come on, try and get the power down on the exit there. As once again, Alonso and I both with the DRS. I mean, Leclerc, he just opens up the door there and refuses when we try and look for it. There's more contact made between ourselves and our teammate there. I think we've had even more with George Russell as well. A little bit further behind. Things are getting very ragged early on here in Abu Dhabi.
Wing, you've taken some minor damage.
Still only minor damage on that front end. We've been very lucky with that so far, but we cannot allow Leclerc to get away now if our car is just a little bit wounded. There we go. I think Russell as well might have just picked up a little war wound from that battle as well.
Easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
I mean, what is that by Charles? He just tries to move in front of me there, and even more contact as he tried to cover me off into the braking zone there. We're going to get yet another warning. So clearly the FIA have it out for me tonight. But to the inside, we're going to go then of our teammate. This time around, he will give me some space. So maybe the team there just telling him, you know, got to be careful with it. Because again, around the outside he'll go. We've definitely lost a bit of confidence in the car at the moment. But, you know, we can't afford to back out. We can't afford to give up on this. Down the inside again. Oh, Leclerc again will try to pinch me. I mean, this is just Ferrari Civil War if ever I've seen it. As once again, our teammate will cover us off. You know, we wanted to try and reach that 900-point target. But, yeah, with nothing left to play for in terms of the drivers or the constructors, I think Ferrari might just lose a little bit of control tonight. But it already feels like a lot has gone on here, and we're barely a half distance in this Grand Prix. To the inside again of Leclerc, who tried. What he does is he'll go pick a line, and then he'll just move a little bit more into the braking zone there. It's really cheeky and really last minute, but he keeps trying to do it. As again, we will send it to the inside there through the next corner. This time around, can we get up and under him through the hotel? Practically pushing our teammate along once again, but yeah, just can't help but wonder whether it's going to finally come to blows tonight between ourselves and Charles. He's walked away with the crown. He's walked away with the world title this season, but I am not happy about it. Leclerc's just got a little bit more pace than me now in the car, like courtesy of our damage. I think our teammate's car has remained unwounded early on, as again, he just flicks in slightly into the braking zone. It compromises our line. We have to try to avoid him and get the car stopped all in one go. But clearly, yeah, we've got just that little bit more straight line potential still. Oh, he actually runs into the back of me So Leclerc more than happy to play touring cars as well here. It's a good job we don't need to race either of these cars again after today, because they're going to need a lot of carbon fibre re-added to them. Oh, look at that, Leclerc. You never see moves down to the hairpin, do we? Ever in Formula 1. But Leclerc that time around is going to try and look for it. I mean, we are happy just to defend from him as best as I can. Which way is he going to go? Here comes Alonso as well. So we're going to go 3 wide again down that back straight. Alonso just forced to back out of it. We will keep down the inside again of our teammate there and maybe try and switch him off the exit of the corner. Just got to be careful with Alonso that he didn't try and get his nose in as well. You can see now our teammate trying to use a bit of battery to defend himself there. He's going to try and force himself defensive. And we go the long way around the outside. We're very, very late on the brakes. Leclerc, though, once again has got the grip. But we often can carry a little bit more speed off of that corner. And look at that, back down the inside. We're going to try and go. This seems to be our best overtaking place of the lap there as we'll go very aggressively in. Not really given the room to hang on. Like, can we try and keep Leclerc at bay this time round? Then I'm worried about what Alonso is going to be able to do here if he gets too much of a look in. So that time not able to get the run on me. Again, we're just trying to be nice and calm and collected on the laps we're not battling. But yeah, then just take everything out of the tyres on the lap we are. How's the speed looking like down this straight? Again, Leclerc's going to be closing in on me. Gotta try and keep some battery, but we've got the legs on him when we're in front. No, we don't. Leclerc's dive bomb me. There's even more contact made. And I thought we were comfortable there, but Leclerc sent it in. More contact, more damage. I don't know if he's got damage now as well. I'm just assuming he does. Yeah, look at that. Missing end plates on the front wing of our teammate's car, both sides of the front wing, so he was way too aggressive in. Leclerc seems to come off second best in that occasion, but that is just chaos. And I mean, I thought we were comfortable in front. Clearly it's not. Ferrari's hopes of a big result here might be in tatters, and they have fully lost control of us. And now, hopefully, it's going to be a little bit easier to try and defend from Alonso and co, because we should have more straight line speed than the Aston Martin. You can see that turn round down the back straight. We've got the legs on him. Where's Leclerc going to come out, though? He's got to be, yeah, way down at the rear of the field. So he's going to be trying to carve his way back through in the final 10 laps here. But for the first time this entire year, could we see Leclerc not walk away with a single point in the final race of the campaign? I'm sure he won't be happy with that. I'm sure he will be on the radio to Ferrari saying he was far enough alongside. But in my opinion, he just aggressively chucked the car in and hoped that I would move out of his way. Oh, so many races towards the end of this year have been absolute bangers, and it looks like Abu Dhabi, maybe for all the wrong reasons, is going to be another one there. Alonso this time tries to have a look around the outside. Again, we've got to be careful. Make sure that we don't, trying to switch him on the exit, make sure that the car behind doesn't have a look in there, as we'll try and go down the inside. It's actually Alex Albon all the way up to P3, so Williams once again look to be having a really good race out at the moment. Admittedly, this wasn't a track we thought they'd be very good at, as we just about tried to squeeze Alonso out, and Alonso's dropping away. What's happened to the Spaniard then is Albon now. Alex Albon could try and claim the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What a turnout for the books that would be. Oh, there we go. Leclerc immediately new fastest lap of the day.
Set the fastest lap of the race.
But we've still got bigger things to worry about right now. Alexander Albon is closing in that Williams. And for the first time, I think, in a long old while, in terms of net race, Williams lead a Formula 1 Grand Prix. And Albon, he might be quite difficult to keep up with here, especially with that little bit of front wing damage. That Williams, we know, is ridiculously fast in a straight line. As you can see, he's going to try and defend from us. Can we have a look the long way round?
Levels are going to start falling away soon.
Look at that. Yeah, it's really working nicely for Alex Albon right now. We'll try and stay with him on the exit of the corner. Use a little bit of battery once again. I think he's well aware of what's at stake for Williams tonight. They need to still finish in the points to make sure they beat Haas. There's more contact, as that's Max Verstappen trying to have a look in. And I've got no idea how we've got any side pod left, because the amount of times other drivers have driven into us tonight, I've lost count. Both Williams are doing a mega job at the moment. As Leclerc, another new fastest lap of the day. Behrman, he's up to P5. So Williams, yeah, having an absolute night of it so far. No idea what's happened to Alonso, but he is really slowing down. So I can only assume he's had some kind of mechanical issue there. But Albon, I mean, he's willing to defend this. Albon genuinely has got a shot here. to try and win the Abu Dhabi season finale, as Max Verstappen's still waiting in the wings. Norris seems to have got himself back in the fight as well tonight. So after a terrible start for Lando Norris, patience has been key. And I think, to be honest, by the end of this one, just having a car that's in good nick is going to be super important there. As again, Albon will try and hook it up that time around. He's going to try and cover me, but we'll get the car back down to the inside again. Just make sure we give him the room around the outside there. But this time around, we hang on. 7 laps to go, and we could be on for an absolute banger again. Oh, Verstappen. Verstappen's getting hungry. That Red Bull has not been up to pace for most of the second half of the year, but Verstappen still wants to remind everyone why he's a 5-time Formula 1 world champion there. The Dutchman will make the move work on Alex Albon, and has he just bided his time here late on in the day? Looks like Norris as well trying to capitalise on the Williams, maybe getting wrong-footed there, as Albon will immediately drop down to P4. Just how quickly things can change late on this season. But yeah, Verstappen as well, of course, made contact with me a couple of laps ago, so I'm happy again to get the elbows out. 4 laps left then here as we start lap 25. Max Verstappen, that Red Bull, we've said it so many times, just does not have the straight line speed here, as Norris now trying to have a look for a move on him, and myself, Lando. A big dive bomb there, trying to get past both the Red Bull and the Ferrari, not able to pull it off, and have McLaren really played a blinder here late on in the day, just allowed everybody else to fight and squabble, and now Norris back towards the front of the order again, towards the end there. Verstappen holds off again ahead of Alex Albon, but Williams have got both cars in the fight for the win. This is incredible viewing. Well, for some reason, the AI, whichever one it is that's in P3, seems to have better straight line speed here than the AI that ends up in P2. Not too sure how it works, as here we go. Norris this time around will send it to my inside again. Oh, I thought I was fully behind him, but not quite there, as he'll pinch me on the exit.
That's us down a place.
Let's see what straight line speed we've got off of the corner, though. Again, to try and close back in on the McLaren. I think he's going to have the legs on us this time. But look how much we're getting towards that top end there. We've got to stay in the range. But has Norris just pulled off a critical move? Well, that might have been a critical move for Lando Norris here, because he's just about able to pull away enough that we can't keep up with him and get close enough again. By the time we get back round to the back straight there, 2 more laps to go. Here from Abu Dhabi, our car and tyres are starting to give up as well here. And after we saw Aston Martin claim a win late on in the campaign, are we going to see McLaren get one as well? It's often been the case in this series that the winner of the last race of one championship can go on to win next year as well. And McLaren and Lando Norris, they'll be trying to look at that as hopefully a good omen here, as through the final corner we go. Verstappen again tries to have a look for it, and I think that's done. Lando Norris pulling away at the front of the field. I think we've lost any chance of a win here, but can we try and defend for P2? Normally, we try and take these last couple of laps of the final race of the year as a bit of a chance to kind of think back over the season we've had. Today, I don't think we've got much time to think about that. It is all still about what is going on the racetrack, and honestly, I reckon this has been one of the most chaotic seasons of F1 I have ever had. Finally, the AI are working in this game. Finally, we're kind of getting the drama and the close finishes you would hope for there. As look at that, Albon and Behrman. Albon and Verstappen even going past me down the back straight.
Quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but look, let's move on. Get your head down and chin up and focus till the end of the race.
And I think, yeah, Ferrari, we've had a podium in every single race this season prior to now. Is that just starting to go away from us there? As Albon, we'll send it to the inside, but not close enough. The Thai driver there slams the door in my face. I do not want to end Ferrari's podium streak in the very last race of the campaign there, as Norris makes his way through towards the start of the last lap of the Grand Prix. We're now being hounded by the man that could take our seat of Ferrari if we opt to leave. Ollie Behrman, of course, a Ferrari young driver, a Ferrari Academy driver in years gone by, has taken a year at Williams just to try and embed himself in Formula 1. But are we potentially seeing him take my role if we don't stay with the team there? Albon and Verstappen still just in front, but I mean, look at this, we've got nothing. Tyres are gone. We're basically making our own version of the Abu Dhabi layout at the moment, but it's not working for us. We are losing even more time there as we run a little bit wide through the curbs through turn 2 and turn 3, and I think it's probably going to be one of the most disappointing races of the year that we're going to finish, because at the moment it doesn't look like we're going to get a podium. It doesn't look like we're going to keep our podium streak alive. And we might be about to lose to both Williams cars as well there, as here comes Ollie Behrman, flies past me down the straight, absolutely walks away from me. I mean, yeah, the car's gone, hasn't it? We've got nothing left in this car at the moment. Behrman gets a kick of oversteer on the exit of the corner. Are we potentially going to be able to get the run back on him one final time here? It's been chaos in Abu Dhabi. I'm so happy we'd already wrapped up everything beforehand, because Ferrari tonight, tempers are absolutely flared within the team. Leclerc and myself not happy, and neither of us are going to be able to walk away with a particularly great result because of it. But Lando Norris, he's won a race in every season so far in this series. He's going to keep that streak alive tonight in the final race of the year. McLaren back on top here in Formula 1 once again. Lando Norris, a Formula 1 Grand Prix winner once more here in Abu Dhabi. What a way to the end of the year for them. But for us, P2 in the championship, it's been a year to forget.
What a way to head to victory! Lando Norris takes the win!
Well, great victory today for the final race of the season, and you take that energy with you through the end of the year, through the winter break, and it's important because your team lives off of that. You want them to deliver you the best possible car for the start of next season's campaign.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
There we go, Lando Norris in the final race of the year. He is going to walk away victorious there. 2 seconds clear of Verstappen. And yeah, I mean, you look at that. He got pole position and the race win. It was never that simple, though, for him. Dropped all the way down to about P6 or P7 early on in the night, but recovered well and was able to get a big result in the end. My driver of the day, I think, is going to go to Ollie Behrman there. 12th to 4th in the end, as Williams get another podium to finish out the year there. And I mean, that should hopefully give them a bit of confidence as we head into next season. But finally, the pressure that had built up all year within Ferrari really did come to blows tonight in a big way there. Neither myself or Leclerc getting a podium. Leclerc for the first time this season not even able to score a point. P5 for us, ahead of Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, Perez, and those two Mercs there. Another decent race by one of the Haas cars. Gasly all the way down in P17 when all is said and done. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. The gap to Leclerc, under 100 points at the end of the year. And like I said, I reckon we lost 100 because of those mechanical failures as well. So honestly, I think if we stay with Ferrari for next season, it is going to be a fight to the death between myself and Leclerc there. Verstappen P3 ahead of Norris, who does hang on ahead of Alonso there. Russell beats Piastri, who gets the jump on Hamilton in that final race, with Perez only just ahead of Albon come the end of the year there. Stroll ahead of Gasly, Sainz and Hulkenberg, with Behrman getting a big haul of points in the end ahead of Tsunoda. Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, and both kick Saubers failed to score a point. Constructors-wise, we don't crack the 900-point goal that we set ourselves in the end. We actually lost out quite badly in that final race of the year as well there. It was us ahead of Red Bull and McLaren. Mercedes in 4th ahead of Aston Martin. Williams, Haas, VCarb, Alpine, and of course Kick Sauber. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back towards the end of next week with the start of Season 4 of the F124 Driver Career Mode.